Hey everybody, today I want to give you a cautionary tale. I'm going to tell you the story about Samuel, and he lost control and ruined his Philippine retirement. He ended up going back to Birmingham, Alabama, where he came from, with a sour taste in his mouth. After tasting the good life for a few months, everything fell apart once he lost control. So let me tell you about the story. But before I do, what do you think of this place I'm at? Beautiful spot. Beautiful river, clean river. Somebody in one of my last videos said, the Philippines is nothing but garbage rivers, sewers, maybe in the big cities, but you come out here in the province, beautiful, clean water. Trouble is, no fish. Anyway, let's talk about Samuel. Samuel came here 3 years ago, came to Dumaguete. I met Samuel, and he was a new guy off the boat. He didn't visit the Philippines before. He just sold everything and came here. And he wanted to start a new life. And he started hanging around downtown a lot, which a lot of people do when they come to Dumaguete. You know, you don't know anybody. You're trying to meet people. You're going to the boulevard. And he ended up finding a girl that he liked. And she worked at the mall at one of these little kiosks. Not in the store, but in one of these little kiosks in the middle of the mall. And every day he made it a point to go see her, say good morning to her, and then when he left the mall, you know, see you later, started up conversations with her. And after about a month, he had the courage to ask her for her contact information. Well, she gave it to him. He contacted her. They started going out. They started doing things. He really liked this girl. He said, this is a good girl for me. She fits everything I want. She checks all the boxes, he said. But he had a small one-bedroom apartment, and he wanted something bigger. So he decided he was going to ask her to move in with him. And of course, she agreed. Why not? She's living in a boarding house. Her hometown is Bayawan, and her family's in Bayawan. And she's here, and she lives in a small boarding house. Why wouldn't she want to live with him? She's seeing him every night. They're boom-booming a lot, I'm going to guess. Why not? So she wanted to move in with him, but he decided he needed a bigger place from that $12,000 a month apartment he had. He moved up, moving on up. He moved into a 20,000 peso a month apartment, fully furnished, 2 bedrooms with a nice big living area, a kitchen, two small bedrooms, and a common bath. And he liked that idea. He said, you know, me and her sleep in one room. I'm going to make an office out of the other, or storage out of the other room. And we had the living space. It's safe. I'm comfortable. I got everything now. I got the girl. I got a nice place to live. I'm in paradise. I'm living within my means. I'm spending less money than I budgeted. His budget when he came here was about $1,800 a month. And he says he's living on $1,400 a month. Easy, the two of them. So he's saving $400 or $500 every month. Good for you, Samuel. You're living the dream. You're living what most of the guys watching this video wish they could do. But the trouble is, things change in life. Nothing stays the same. Everything becomes a little different and a little different. And what happened? Well, she asked him, honey, my sister wants to come into Dumaguete and find a job. And that's a normal thing. The girls from the province, the smaller towns, come into Dumaguete looking for work. And here is the girl. She has a sister, and she's going to need a place to stay while she looks for, you know, a job and everything. He agreed. He's like most men saying, wow, I got 2 girls, 1 apartment, and me. Thumbs up, man. Maybe a little sister-on-sister action. I don't know if he thought that, but, you know, that's in the back of his mind. Sure, I'll help you out. It's a girl. You wouldn't have a brother come and live with you. You wouldn't have an uncle come. But her sister, no problem. About the same age. She came in, spent the first month looking for work, found a job. Found a job in a little bakery. And she was working like semi-evening. She would go into work, you know, at 10 o'clock at night and get off about 7 in the morning, working at the bakery, you know, baking and preparing the food and everything. Perfect for him. When he's sleeping and he wants to have alone time with his girlfriend, no problem. She's gone. When she comes home, when the sister comes home, She takes a bath, she has something to eat, and she goes to sleep. So they really don't interact that much except for her off weekend. She had 2 days off a week, and that was Monday and Tuesday. And so he said, that's perfect for me. Perfect. She's working on the weekends when my girlfriend doesn't work. So we have plenty of quality time. Everything's working fine. Another month goes by. All of a sudden, the sister goes, I'm going to have my boyfriend come and visit me. Is it okay? Samuel thinks about it for a minute. Just a visit. Yes, on my off day, he would come and we would go out and do things. Just on my off day. He goes, sure. Yeah, I'm not a selfish prick. Sure, come on. Have him come down. Well, the first couple weeks he was there just for 1 day, 1.5 days. He spent one night there. He was uncomfortable with the one night because remember, they only have one bathroom. And in that bathroom, they have to share everything. You know, they unless somebody brings a fresh towel and their own toothbrush and the soap. You know, you got the bar soap in there. Does everybody have their own bar? No, you know, it's uncomfortable for Samuel. The two girls are no problem. But another man, a Filipino guy who he doesn't talk to because his English isn't that good, is there. Well, after a few weeks, the boyfriend's there more often. He's bringing her home from work. He's picking her up. But then he's hanging around. And he's hanging around more. And then he's spending more and more nights. After a month goes by, it's almost like he's moved in. Samuel goes, the food now is all pure filth. No one's asking me what I want to have for dinner. They just have a big thing of rice and they eat and they buy fish and chicken and, you know, they cook for them. They're always sitting around the table talking in Visayan or Tagalog. And he feels like the odd man out. He's paying the rent. He's paying the electricity. He's buying the groceries. He's so uncomfortable. So 4 months total have gone by. The first 2 months where it's him and his girlfriend, the sister shows up. Now 2 more months have gone by and the boyfriend is there. And he has a 6-month lease in this apartment. He can't take it no more. He tells his girlfriend he's got to go. And your sister should go too. But he definitely has to go. He can't live here. He can't live here with me. Well, she's not happy with that. She fights with them over that, saying, oh, that's so unfair. They travel from Bayawan. He's looking for work. She's working. They're just trying to live. But that's the family way here in the Philippines. Family lives with family and boyfriends and husbands. They all live together in the same area or in the same compound. But here just happened to be the same apartment. And Samuel was totally uncomfortable. What to do? What to do? Well, what does Samuel have to do? He decided either they were leaving or he was leaving, but he didn't fight about it. He didn't put up an argument. He didn't scream or nothing. He told her, if he's not gone at the end of the week, I'm leaving. Well, I'm going to just assume the girlfriend thinks he's bluffing. Where's he going to go? He has an apartment here. He has a lease. What's he going to do? He ain't going nowhere. He's stuck here. He has lost control of his life. The girlfriend and the sister's boyfriend control his life now. Control everything he has. Well, Samuel, he's not a poor man. He just goes down to the landlord. He says, I'm going to pay the rent all the way to the end of the lease. Then he tells the landlord, when the lease is up, make sure the electric bills are paid. Make sure nothing's broken and give the 1 month deposit to my girlfriend. And Samuel leaves. He fulfilled his obligation on the lease. He didn't leave the girl stranded on the street, thrown out, with nowhere to stay, nothing to eat. He left them there to continue to the end of the lease. At the end of the lease, that's the landlord's problem to get them out of the place. But he's paid his rent all the way to the end of the lease. And he told the landlord the situation. Landlord's Filipino. He knows what he's going to do. He knows how to handle this situation. But Samuel lost total control of his life because he liked this girl. He had her move in with him, which is good. All that is good and solid. But then he started to show weaknesses. He let the sister move in without conditions. And then he showed some more weakness by saying, yes, the boyfriend can visit. Once you open the door and that door cracks open, people take advantage. You know the old saying, give an inch and they take a mile. My God, Samuel. Samuel decided, I'm done here. I'm going back to Birmingham, Alabama. And Samuel had this sweet southern drawl accent, big smile on his face. He could go find another girl. He could go to another island and restart. But it left such a sour taste in his mouth, where the first couple months he was here living in a small apartment month to month, he was happy, not overly happy, but he was in paradise. He was doing whatever he wanted to do. Then he met a girl who he thought would complete him, make him whole, make him a man among boys. He got this good looking girl and she's working and, they're living in a nice place. He's comfortable. It's affordable. He's living well within his means. And then it all slipped away from him. It all slipped away. So he went back to Alabama. He said he was going to regroup and then he was going to go try Vietnam or Thailand or somewhere else. He wasn't coming back to the Philippines. Guys, you can't let one bad experience deter you from a life in the Philippines. It's bad decisions you make. You don't have to run from them. I think Samuel handled this whole situation very well, but he could have got another apartment somewhere else in town. He could have moved to Cebu. He could have gone to Leyte. He could have gone to Mindanao. There are many things he could have done to stay here and stay within his budget and enjoy his life. Lesson learned. We all make mistakes. And I hope people watch YouTube for one of three reasons. You're either entertained, you're educated, or you're learning from everybody else's mistakes. I've made a ton of mistakes. Samuel made a big mistake here by letting the boyfriend even put his toes inside the apartment. He should have stopped it when he was just dropping her off and picking her up and say, he can't come in. He can pick her up at the street. He can drop her off, but he can't come in. He can't spend time. If they want to go and do some boom, tell them go get by the hour hotel. They're 250 pesos an hour, 300 pesos an hour or whatever. Go somewhere, get a short-term hotel and do what you do. Go in the jungle, whatever. But don't do it in my house. Don't do it in my bed. You have to stay in control. I warned so many guys about being in control of your money. Don't let the girl control your money. Don't let her have all the access to your finances. Don't let her withdraw money from your bank account without you knowing it. You have to stay in control. And losing control of any means. Property, money, where you live, who lives with you. You're the boss. Be the alpha male. I know it's hard for a lot of us guys who come here. We're not alpha males. I'm not an alpha. I'm not. I'm just a normal guy who just wants a normal, happy life. And sometimes I get used. I have a big heart. I get used easy. And Samuel got used also. Come here with your eyes wide open, but stay in control. This is just a cautionary tale. This could have happened anywhere in the world, not just the Philippines. It could have happened in Cleveland, Ohio. Could have happened in Las Vegas. It could have happened in Bangkok. It could happen in Colombia. It could happen anywhere if you lose control. Be in charge of your life. You're the only one who really counts. You have to be happy with your life and in control of your life at all times.